Okay, so Norton made a browser. Yes, I'm talking about the antivirus company. They built an AI browser, and I've been testing it for a few days now. I'll be honest with you, I expected this to be bad. Another company throwing a chatbot onto a browser and calling it innovation. That's what everyone is doing right now, and I'm a bit over it. I was wrong about a few things. One feature in particular made me stop mid-testing and just think, why doesn't every browser already do this? I'll show you that in a minute, but first, let me explain why most AI browsers annoy me and what Neo actually does differently. So we've already established companies are throwing ChatGPT into a sidebar and calling it a day. Maybe they've introduced some mediocre agent features that are slower than you actually doing it yourself. The problem is most of these are bolt-on features, not improvements to actually browsing. Why not just use ChatGPT or Claude directly? Up to now, that's what I'm always thinking. I genuinely get zero benefit from it being in the sidebar. But Neo takes a different approach. The AI isn't just living in a sidebar that you have to summon. It's woven into the browsing experience itself, showing up in context exactly when you need it. That's the pitch anyways. They did agree to sponsor this, so use the first link in the description to support this channel. It is free. Regardless, these are my own thoughts and opinions on this browser, so let's get into it. All right, let me show you what this actually looks like in practice. Starting with the feature that surprised me most. Let's say you're doing research. You've got a Google results page with 10 links staring at you. Normally you'd open 8 of them in new tabs, just in case. You'd skim each one and close the useless ones and end up with 3 you actually needed. We've all done this and it's pretty tedious, but it's also just how the internet has always worked. Neo does something I haven't seen before. You hover over a link, just hover, nothing else, and then you have a few options available to you. If I click here, a summary appears. There's also a keyword shortcut to activate this. So you're looking at search results thinking, is this article actually worth my time? And Neo just tells you right there. I was researching something the other day related to a video I was working on, and I would have probably opened 12 tabs to find what I needed, but instead I just opened up 3. It was just a simpler process. There's also this peek option where you can actually preview the page in a little window. You can scroll through it and decide if it's actually worth opening up on a full page. Here's what I like about this. You're not prompting anything. You're not typing, please summarize this page for me. You're just browsing like you normally would, and the AI just meets you there. That's a different philosophy from shoving everything into a chat window. Now, it's not perfect. Sometimes the summary flattens something that needs context, but for quick research, for figuring out which of these 10 links deserves your attention, it actually works really well. And it works great on other sites too with links like X or Substack. But here's where Neo's approach gets more thoughtful than I expected. It has to do with what happens to all this data. So most AI tools just learn about you silently. They watch what you do and they build a profile, and you have no idea what they actually know. You're just supposed to trust it. Neo does something better. You tell Neo what to remember explicitly. You say, remember, I prefer concise answers, and it stores exactly that. You can also see exactly what it does remember in a section in settings called memories. Everything Neo knows about you is listed right there. It's visible, editable, deletable, not hidden in some backend you'll never access. This is where Norton's background becomes relevant, right? They've been in security for decades, and you can feel that in how this is built. Ad blocking and phishing protection are built in. You don't have to install uBlock or anything, it just works. You know what's stored locally versus what goes into the cloud. All right, let me show you the rest of what's in here. Some of these features are extremely nice to have. One input bar that handles everything. Search the web, go to a URL, ask a question, draft an email. It figures out your intent automatically. I can type google.com and it navigates there. I can type help me find the best 4K TV under $1,000, and it answers with the sources in the chat. Everything's in the same place, so there's no switching between search mode and chat mode unless you want to manually, but you just type what you want and it figures it out. If you are reading something like an article on a website or something and you want to open up the side panel, you can do that as well. You don't have to paste anything or explain context. The sidebar will just understand the full context from your screen. And when you open the sidebar, it doesn't just sit there waiting. It gives you starter prompts based on whatever's on the page. If you're reading a product page, for example, it might suggest a prompt that helps you find other alternatives. If you're reading some news, it might give you a prompt to find the key points or summarize the article. It knows what you're probably going to ask, so you really don't have to spend that time trying to think how to ask it. There are also pre-built snippets baked in, so quick actions for common stuff like summarizing and translating. explaining, rewriting all the standard prompts you might see. This is useful when you're browsing and you want to answer fast or you need help rewriting something quickly. Instead of copying and pasting a prompt in, you just click a button and you're ready to go. Now, this one's simple, but it works really well and it's just really powerful. Neo automatically groups your tabs by topic. Work stuff clusters together, shopping goes in its own group. You don't have to configure this or add an extension. It just does it. It just noticed what I was doing and organized accordingly. Probably my favorite feature of Neo, even if it's not the most exciting, because I'm always jumping from topic to topic and it separates them out for me. You can collapse groups to clean up your view in the browser, and there's tab archiving that tucks away stuff you haven't touched in a few hours, which keeps things from spiraling into this, the classic 47 tab situation that everyone deals with at some point. For the Arc browser fanboys, you can switch between horizontal and vertical tabs in just one click. Arc browser popularized this a few years ago and not everybody wants them, so Neo has them as well. And there's a simple button toggle, so you don't have to go remember a shortcut or find it in the settings, which is awesome. I actually prefer the horizontal tabs until I get really focused on something and I have a lot of tabs, and then I want the vertical tabs. So being able to switch easy is actually really nice. Now, anywhere you type on the web, Neo can help with emails, forms, comment boxes. It can suggest improvements, help with tone. It's just there whenever you're typing, right? Now, next, your homepage has a personalized feed that surfaces content based on your interests. It's built on device, so it's private. The learning that powers it stays local to your machine, so you get personalization without your browser history going somewhere else. And if I want to disable that feature, I can really easily, and some of the other features here. All right, let's be honest. Peek and summarize is genuinely really useful. I think every browser should have something like this. Also, the tab grouping. I'm surprised more don't have these features. The memory control is how AI privacy should work. You own the data, you can see it, you can delete it, and most importantly, it's free to use Norton Neo, which surprised me given what's included here. There's a lot of really powerful AI features. It's truly a great deal, and it's a powerful productivity upgrade. Right now, it's Mac and Windows only, but mobile versions are on the way. If you want AI built into your browsing without managing a pile of extensions, and you care about actually controlling what your tools know about you, Neo's worth trying. It took me about 10 minutes to get comfortable with it, and now it's just great. What I appreciate about Neo is the philosophy underneath it. Most AI tools demand your attention. They force you into specific pre-built workflows. Neo helps in the background, shows up when it's useful. You're still just browsing and occasionally something helpful appears, and the sidebar is there when you do need it. This is how this stuff should be built in my opinion. Download Neo for free in the description. Try it out and come back and tell me what you think about it. Watch these videos next to discover some more interesting AI tools. Thanks for watching, guys.